Goodbye to the 9-to-5 commute. Rest in peace to the cubicle. And hello to a better life lived as a digital nomad in Portugal. From the expat hub of Lisbon, the sleepy yet charming city of Porto, and the epic adventures of Lagos, today I'm going to show you why Portugal is home to countless digital nomads who got up and left their homes in search of a better life. But is life here as good as it looks? Would you be better off here, or where you already live today? Like you, I want to know the answers for myself. What makes all these nomads from around the world come here? I want to know, how far can my money go? And what's the Portuguese lifestyle really like? And so I'll be rating and scoring this Portuguese life so you can see for yourself how it all stacks up. We have a lot to uncover, but by the end of this video, you'll know if Lisbon is your next hub or even your next home. It feels so good to be able to say that this is home for the next 2 weeks. I've had so many awesome locals reach out to come show me their version of Lisbon and their version of Portugal. And one of them is none other than Big Rig Ricardo. Sup? He's actually been living here on and off for the last 2 years, knows it very well. I'll be getting many different flavors of this place. Okay, but first I had to relive one of my finest Lisbon memories from back in 2018. Let me show you one of the best desserts on this planet. Now it's a tight squeeze, but it's a very popular place, so no surprises here. It's worth it. Can I get 2 pastel de nata? For €1.30, you get to experience an out-of-body experience. A little tap to go, heaven in a little tart. And what you need to know is it's delicious. It's a pastry with egg custard. It's actually scorched at the top. I'm gonna be frequenting this place. I've got to get one more. That was unbelievable. This is gonna be a good 2 weeks. This right here, this is the Instagram tram. The most famous of them all. It's so beautiful. Pastel colors everywhere you look. The pinks, the blues, the yellows, the greens. The blue skies are out most days, but the thing that really brings the city to life is just a splash of color. Also the hills. You don't really need a gym here. This city is so beautiful. So the main goal for today is to really get to know the neighborhood, get a feel for what it's like to be in Lisbon. I've got a whole 2 weeks here, and I'll come to know the local gems, the hidden spots. But today we might be taking a little bit more of the mainstream approach. We're taking you to the world famous, well, Lisbon famous, Pink Street. Now, the Pink Street is easily one of Lisbon's most famous landmarks. During the day, it's super busy with restaurants and bars, and at night, it gets even busier. Visitors from all over the world come here to party. Fabulous! So, I know what you guys are thinking. Why is it called the Pink Street? And I'll tell you. It's because it's pink.
And this is my favorite bar.
All right, let's get a drink. This is like a throwback to Thailand. I love like very low-key bars. You got that come as you are feeling. Cheers. How do you say cheers? Salud. So this is Superbuck, and it's one of the local beers. Very light. Actually hits really good. That was a big beer. Feeling vibey. The music, the atmosphere, the weather. Pink Street is a fun visit on your first day in Lisbon, but I don't think you'll find yourself here much after. So on we went to explore this pastel city. You got the moves, bro. Now you guys need to be very careful. There is one predator here in Lisbon. Not even Chris Hansen can stop it.
My name is Jeff.
Now, Portuguese food is something we will soon explore, but what we've been told is Lisbon is a city full of international culinary experiences, and a place one of our local friends said we had to try was right here. I got myself a Malaysian yellow curry. This is phenomenal. And we've actually got some locals, and they're just around the corner, so they're gonna come join us tonight. We're gonna get some drinks, sunset, and enjoy a rooftop bar. You guys look so cool. How you doing, guys? Guys, I've been bamboozled. It turns out my local guides aren't even local. They're Brazilians. They're fake Portuguese. They've been living here on and off. Actually, they probably know Vancouver better than they know Lisbon.
That's so true. That's so true. And Whistler.
Yeah. So they're helicopter pilots, and they were training where I grew up, which is crazy. Let's
Discovery Portugal together.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'll be your guide.
Okay, let's go.
I know this place pretty well. And just like that, I became the guide. But luckily, I turned to a few of your DMs and was recommended a cool spot to catch sunrise in the city.
Don't expect to be served on time.
Yeah.
It's a wait.
Yeah.
They want you to enjoy the scenery.
Yeah. This has happened a few times now. I'm seeing a bit of a pattern. It's teaching me to be in the moment. If you want fast, go to Munich. If you want the slow life, come to Lisbon. Day one was a good day to get adjusted, make a few friends, and get myself set up for what would be a big 2 weeks. On our way home, I was reminded how this city comes to life at night in the summertime. One of the most amazing things about having a global network of friends is that you can find a friend of a friend almost anywhere in the world. Justin connected us with an American who has been living in Lisbon for the last 3 years, and she invited us to see a side of Lisbon that most tourists never see. And so the mission begins to become localized here in Lisbon. Technically we left it, but not by much. This is, how far do we drive? 40 minutes?
I think so.
40 minutes.
Tenho 7 namorados, não me caso com nenhum,
The moment of reveal. Look at this. This is just outside of Lisbon. I had no idea. I've been here before and I did not know this side. You gotta go where the locals go sometimes. And 20 minutes later, check this out. From above, it looks like there was 30-40 people, but down below you can see a lot of the locals have come here to get into the sun, enjoy this epic view. There's got to be a couple hundred people down here. It's amazing. Everyone talks about the Algarves in the south of Portugal, but somehow Lisbon's beach scene is almost untalked about. I think we should change that. Guys, I am so blown away by this beach right here. I mean, I thought you had to go down south to the Algarves, to like Lagos, to be able to get these cliffs, this beautiful white sand and the blue water, but it's literally in the backyard of Lisbon. 35 minutes away in a place called Sesimbra. As somebody that grew up in Vancouver and always wanted the beach in my backyard, this is literally it. This is what it's all about. So, very impressed. And something tells me it won't be the last time we come here. So it's 6:30 and pretty much most people are clearing out from the beach at this point. And what's so cool is the summer days are super long. So sunset's not till like 9 p.m. So this here is Nina. And Nina's been living in Lisbon for a little while, a little bit on and off.
A little bit, yeah.
And my question would be, why? What do you like about Lisbon?
3 things.
Okay.
The people, the sunshine, and the beaches. Nothing compares to it. I mean, look at this. This is one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, and I can just come here for a couple hours and go home. It's amazing.
We got all 3 of those things today. Spectacular. After a day at the beach, I wanted to get a true Portuguese meal, and luckily you guys shared a real gem with us. So, as you probably know, Lisbon is on the water, and there's a massive bridge that connects this side to the downtown core. I actually got a DM from one of you guys saying, you gotta go to Ponto Final, and because we're already on this side of the bridge, we're gonna go try it out. Hey! We're gonna go get some delicious food with an amazing view, and check this out. Woo. Guys, I am saving this location. The perfect pitch of grass, the perfect sunset view. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. Bring a little Bluetooth speaker, a bottle of rosé. Justin, you and I are gonna have a beautiful sunset, man. I wish Ruby was here. Be ready for a little pre-dinner Stairmaster. But hey, everything tastes better when you've earned it. Yo, man. Good to see you. This place gets super busy, but luckily Ricardo was there early to reserve us a spot. That's my definition of a hero. Even still, the wait was so long. So we got a charcuterie set, went to the seawall, waited and waited and waited some more. Next thing we know, we're surrounded by a bunch of Canadians and making friends with total strangers. I'm from Canada. Where are you from?
Canada! Where's Toronto? We're from Montreal.
Ah, tu parles français, moi aussi. But seriously, this wait was absolutely absurd. Bring a sweater, because it definitely gets cold once the sun sets.
I'm not going to give him a gold star for service, but I will say that despite waiting an hour for a table, an hour of waiting for the food, it has arrived and it has not disappointed. The food is very good. I ordered the cod with potatoes, and one thing that's very unique is it actually comes with orange. A lot of butter, a lot of garlic, but no worries, Ruby doesn't have to kiss me tonight, so life is good. And the fish is fantastic. If you come here early, save yourself a spot for sunset, I would highly recommend it.
Now, a true digital nomad isn't just going to eat pastel de natas and lounge on the beach. They want to build a lifetime of travel and adventure, and that's why we took day 3 to try and settle in and make some moves in the business. Good morning. It is the start of a beautiful day here in Lisbon, another blue sky, and we're trying out a co-work space by the name of Outside. It's nice to change up the scenery. It's definitely a bit of a quiet environment, but for focused work, that's really, really nice. It's now 1 p.m. I'm basically doing my intermittent fasting right now, and I am ready for my first meal of the day. Justin is preparing for the launch of LCA.
Getting close, baby, getting close.
We're very close.
7 more days.
That's the reality of the series. While I am filming, there's a lot of stuff going on in between these moments. And right now we're not only relaunching LCA, the new and improved version of it, we're also going to be launching the Creator Incubator, which is our private creator coaching. It's basically like the most high-level accountability training, and yeah, it's phenomenal. It's so exciting. You know exactly how much this camera changed my life, and I'm very passionate about helping others take control of their lives and to be able to live in places like Lisbon, Bali, Dubai, and do it from anywhere at any time. It's the dream, and that's what I'm hoping to help many of you achieve. So if you guys are curious to learn more about it, it is going to be linked down below. Now, this wasn't just a work day. This was the start of something huge. Later that night at the Outside Co-work, we kicked off the first ever Lost Creator Academy group trip. We had 40 content creators from around the globe fly into Portugal to join us as we explored this beautiful country. Day 1, we started off with a crew of creators making a trip to Sintra and the nearby castles just outside of Lisbon. I shared a beautiful moment with this guy. And then we had an amazing Portuguese meal.
So there's 4 things you can tell to see if you're in a Portuguese restaurant. 1, there's tiles on the walls. 2, there's food being placed on the table before you even order food. 3, they've got beer. Immediately you got beer. And then the 4th thing is when you look at the menu and you see basically no vegetarian options, you know you're in a Portuguese restaurant.
Yeah, Portuguese love meat, and so do I. To end this day, we watched a beautiful sunset from one of Lisbon's sky bars. The goal of my time in Portugal was to see if I could live here. And while I enjoyed chapters of city life, my ideal digital nomad hub should also include places to escape it. So it was time to explore that side of Portugal. We packed our bags and traveled down south to the coastal area of Lagos. The next 2 days were filled with blue water, a yacht, a couple amazing sunsets by cliffsides, and a lot of laughs and amazing food. But I have to say, I was kind of surprised how expensive Portugal had become. Now later in this video, I'm going to be talking about how much it cost and the value of Portugal, because that is a huge part of the decision making, whether you move here or whether you just visit. But more on that later. Our last night with the LCA fam ended with an epic barbecue and a lot of goodbyes to new amazing friends. The very next day, it was back to it. To break my fast, I had a lot of options, but just a 2-minute walk away from Outside Co-work is this place. This place is packed with good food. At least it looks good. I haven't tried it yet. But look at this. If I give you a little 360, there's got to be at least a couple dozen restaurants. This is called Time Out Market. All right, you got your pizza, sushi, you got local Portuguese food. This is literally like a 5-minute walk away from the co-work space. Because I didn't find a coffee place that caught my attention, I walked directly across the street from Outside and I found this coffee shop. And I'm just gonna say, you're gonna wanna try this. When you got a big machine like that, you know it's gonna be good. It's good, right?
It's amazing.
All right. What do you recommend?
How you like your coffee?
I like blonde roast. That smells really good.
You
Yeah.
can see tangerine and
Amazing.
Spezia.
Let's do that one.
Brazilian coffee, Brazilian method, Brazilian speak to
Oh,
you.
that's the whole, no, that's the experience. Okay. What's your name?
Eros.
Eros.
Yes.
Guys, you come to see Eros. He'll treat you good. When you have coffee that's made this way with fine beans and with a lot of care, there's actually, it's so good that you don't need to add sugar, you don't need to add milk. This magical bean water just comes out tasting amazing. It's a lot less bitter than your average coffee. Another one to add to your Lisbon bucket list, Baoba, phenomenal. And I loved meeting Eros, such a cool guy. As digital nomads, we can be in the co-work from 8 to 2 p.m. and still have half a day to go and explore. For every cool shot you see is a moment that looks a little like this. One thing that's amazing about life in Lisbon is that you can rent scooters and bikes to get around the city. Now I will say the prices kind of shocked me and would make me question it for daily use, but for a traveler, it's a super fun experience. We made it. So you're looking at the valiant steeds of Portugal. After an hour and a half of kind of messing around with the bike, taking some fun shots, it was 28 bucks. The good news is we have made it.
Torre de Belem.
And what's the story here? Because you're a historian.
I like history, yeah. So this was the first tower of the defense of the Bay of Lisbon. So this is where...
Whose bay? Your bay?
My bay. My sweet bay. It was the first defense point. They would be able to scout if there's any sort of enemies coming in, and they would sound the bells and all of that. It's beautiful.
Yeah. It's like Lord Farquaad, but on a budget. I'm also a historian, if you couldn't tell. Our final little stop of the day's outing.
You know what's really interesting is that this is my place where I decided to launch my business was here.
Really?
To reopen my production company was here. It has the beautifulest view for sunset and the bridge. It's super peaceful.
Amazing.
So you can see everything happen as it happens, and it reminds you how everything's always moving.
Now this day was a loaded one because some strangers, now friends, from the co-work space invited us to go to a party. So we said yes. Tonight we're doing it a little different though.
I know, Mark LeBlanc.
Yes!
Right?
No!
we follow your videos.
Excuse me.
Mark LeBlanc? What?
Almost.
We follow your Bali videos.
Matt LeBlanc.
Matt LeBlanc.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
man.
Nice to see you, man.
We're very big fans of him. Actually, we went to Bali based on his videos, really.
Thank you,
True
bro.
story.
I
Nice to
appreciate
hear.
it. We're gonna get a
Cheers.
drink tonight.
We're gonna see you later.
See you in there. My name's Christian, by the way. Whenever somebody recognizes me but doesn't quite know who I am, they always say Matt LeBlanc because of friends. So, anyways, fun story.
Anda cá traduzir.
You're going to Bali?
Sim,
Oh, amazing.
setembro.
Amazing. I'll be there. I'll see you there.
O que é que ele está a dizer?
Ele vai estar lá em setembro.
Ah, é? Ah.
That was so funny. I just got stopped by this whole family. They're all going to Bali and they're like, all right, do we go to Gili Island? No? Okay. How are the women there? Okay. How are the restaurants? I now knew Lisbon had beautiful beaches, but what I didn't know is that they have amazing events and parties and festivals, and tonight's was absolutely incredible. So cool. I can't believe that this is right outside the city. I love the style, the energy, the music. It feels like I'm in Tulum when I'm in Lisbon. The end of another day in Portugal. And I think this might be one of my favorite ends to any of the days. It's been so stunning. As the sun set, the music picked up and the crowd came alive. That night, I was starting to feel just a little bit more at home. So, 2 hours of solid focus work to start the day, and I will give you a little bit of a tour of our place and how far your money will go in Lisbon, but we have somewhere we want to take you. You guys ready? Let's do it. Guys, I want you to meet someone.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Miriam.
Hi guys.
And
Tudo bem?
We had a breakfast the other day that just blew us away. This place has like 500 reviews, all of them somehow 5 stars. I've never seen that. But when we came and experienced it, it made a lot of sense. And you are from?
I'm from Cape Verde.
And your husband? Gonçalo.
Yes. We met since we were 14 years of age.
Wow. Yeah. During the pandemic, they were experimenting with coffee grinds and different coffees. And they're like, you know what? Why don't we go ahead and open our own? And this is the result of that. This amazing trendy shop. You can literally take a pen, you can write on the wall, you can leave your mark on the Tanoa Cafe. It's so cool.
First business, yeah. And something you wrote. So
wow.
Yeah, leave it right.
It's just amazing to be a part of this little community space. See you.
See you.
Today we are leaving Lisbon and we're taking an Uber and I'll show you where we're going. Hello. Oh, no, no, no.
Our next stop is to an upscale suburb by the name of Cascais. To get there, you can take a train, although we were warned it's almost always on strike, so I opted into taking a $25 cab. Not bad for a 45-minute drive. To make sure I got the best understanding of this neighborhood, I went to Instagram and found amazing people from the area to show us around.
I'm becoming local by proxy. Today we're joining with Katarina, James, and Joanna. The spot is absolutely stunning.
I could see quickly that Cascais is a very laid-back place. It felt like we'd left the city. This is the kind of place you would want to raise a family, with beautiful beaches, parks, and an amazingly clean and safe place to call home. It probably comes as no surprise, Cascais is the home to the rich of Portugal. If you can afford it, it's a stunning place to be.
Look, I know this is supposed to be focused on digital nomads, but I'm getting a whole life flash here. Like, can you imagine raising kids here? This place is a beautiful park. You two actually grew up in this park, didn't you?
We did.
Did.
There's cocks walking around, there's peacocks, there's all sorts of cocks. It's amazing. I could picture myself walking little lost just down the road there, holding his little hands, putting little sneakers on them. I can see myself having a family here. This is beautiful. What do you think it is?
A bird.
I think it's a bird. I think it's a bird, yeah. Katarina was just telling me that we're actually still in Lisbon. And so this is, how would you describe this neighborhood? It's like the posh area?
The posh area. Cascais is like a beach town. Fisherman's village. Fisherman's village.
I haven't seen any fishermen.
No, well that's why it's a posh area.
European Beverly Hills here. This is so beautiful. Everything's nicely manicured, it's clean, it's waterfront, palm trees. I'm impressed.
This ice cream store was founded in Cascais. It's now all over Lisbon, but it was born here. Ours is the OG, so it tastes better here. We're going to eat an ice cream.
It's one of the best. But I really like Arcadia as well.
Which one?
The Arcadia.
Arcadia, no cycle.
No way.
Never tried? The coconut.
Never ask two Cascaisers the best gelato in town. A fight will inevitably break out.
There can only be one best ice cream, so which is it? We're pitting the Portuguese against each other.
To be fair, he's a fake Portuguese, so let's trust Joanna and say it's here.
Chocolate is actually the darker one. So apparently the president has one of his family homes just down this alleyway. And I was asking, like, you know, kind of crazy to think that there's no security, no massive gates. And they're saying that Portugal is actually the 3rd safest country in the world. So safe that the president even sometimes just walks down to go surfing. Have you guys ever seen him?
I've seen him at the beach.
Yeah?
He doesn't look like the surfer dude, my friend.
He's pretty old for that.
That's our president. This is the man you said surfs.
Yeah, I don't think he surfs. He probably plays bocce though.
Now, just outside of the town of Cascais is a totally different kind of beach. These rough terrains are the byproducts of the crazy winds that have shaped the coastline of Portugal. Soft white sand, steep dunes, and a ton of kite surfers.
Some of the most stunning beaches I've ever seen. They look a lot like Oregon, the west coast of America. We've been warned that the waves here get massive and the currents are very, very strong. We're having an interesting conversation. Could a digital nomad live here in Cascais? If you want to have the action at your front door and the beautiful beaches available to you on the weekends, then you'd stay in downtown Lisbon. If you want to reverse that and live on the beautiful white sand beach and have the action of Lisbon on the weekends, then yeah, you could live out here. But Cascais is very premium. This is just a few kilometers away from where Cristiano Ronaldo's building his home. This is where you've got the multi-million-dollar villas and all of that.
Now on this trip, I'm gonna show you as much of Portugal as possible. I'll take you to the north of Porto. I already took you to the south of Portugal, but one place I simply didn't have time to see was Ericeira. Ericeira is one of the more affordable digital nomad havens of Portugal. It's a quaint surf town just a few hours north of Lisbon, and it's a lot more laid back. So if you want to surf, save some money, and meet other nomads, it sounds like a place to check out.
So apparently this is a bit of a local spot. The girls were saying that even their dads grew up eating these hot dogs.
Terry's been a lifelong customer. Cheers. This was a great dog and a great day out of Lisbon, but I had work to do, so let's get back. The next day, I woke up and decided to change my work life, because I'm a digital nomad. I can do that.
Trying out a new co-work space today. Let's check it out.
Have you ever thought about being a content creator, but then talked yourself out of it? You don't have this, you definitely don't have this. Well, the good news is, this is all you need. Literally this and your computer. The content creator industry is built for everyday people like you and I. I was an accountant at the start of this journey. No idea how to film, no idea how to be in front of this camera, but I was willing to learn. And that single decision, taking that single bet and chance on myself, had the most outsized impact in my life. It's brought me to 90 countries, it's built me 7-figure businesses, it has opened up my life to be able to share the most beautiful experiences with the people I love most, and it's allowed me to live wherever I want, including Lisbon. If you want to learn how this accountant built a business like this, then take a look at that link down below, and I'd love to set you up with a call with one of my creator success coaches. On that one-on-one call, we will learn about your needs and what's stopping you from really taking that step toward your dream life. So yeah, take a look at that link down below.
Hey guys, how are you?
So this space is called Second Home, and it's right on top of the Timeout Market, which you may remember we actually went ate at literally just the other day. And the style is just so beautiful. Splashes of color, the greenery makes you feel like being inside isn't so inside, and a lot of desks. There's a bunch of central desks all surrounded by plants. Those are the fixed desks. Basically, you need a 3-month agreement to be able to secure one. It's about $415 or so per month. And then you've got the Flexi hot desks, which are these ones right here. And these ones are only 1-month contract for about $300. All in all, it gives you a lot of different options. Bit of an investment in your stay and in your work, but it's a really great way to meet people. As you know, that's kind of the main reason we're here. We're here to meet people, to be able to focus on the business, but also to get a real essence of Lisbon. They have sparkling water. I love this place. That day, I powered through a bunch of updates for Lost Creator Academy and created the curriculum for our newest coaching program, and I started planning out the next Lost Creator trip, which was set for Bali. And that video is now live. Having caught up on all my work, said nobody ever, Justin and I decided to get on a train and go and explore Porto.
It was time to take a weekend getaway, and the beautiful thing about Portugal and Lisbon is it's all interconnected by rail. So with a 3-hour train, we are bringing you to Porto. And Porto is this quaint city that is right on the water. It's very, very cute. It's got a ton of personality. You see the pastel colors through the streets, the beautiful tile work. And while we don't have a lot of time here, it's just a little getaway. We're gonna show you some of the unique things to see and do. But one of them is none other than the food. There's been so many beautiful coffee shops, restaurants, and right next to the Airbnb we booked is this one called Nicolau. It's really cool, always busy, and I can see why. The food's really good. Now, we don't have much time here. We've only come up for an overnight trip, so let's make it count. From my research, Porto is not a city with a bunch of landmarks and must-see destinations. It's mostly about being in the city, exploring, and trying all the amazing food. But there is one spot that literally has a line going around the block. And for all you Harry Potter fans out there, it's right here. This is actually what inspired Harry Potter. Now, if you're a 4-eyed bookworm and you want to wait in line to see some books, be my guest. But if you're an illiterate legend like me, let's go.
Forget the books. I'm a man of culture, and Porto is known for its famous port wine, so Justin and I had no choice. We love culture. €28 later, 5 glasses later, I will say, not really worth it. I think I probably could have just sipped a couple. It was so sweet, I couldn't quite get into it. For me, port is not quite the thing. But I will say, I love this area. So this is called Avenida Diogo de Light. And this area is stunning. I mean, you've got everything from like local street food, delicacies, trinket shops, souvenir shops for sure. And if you really want to understand the history of port, this is the place. I mean, there's little tours you can take into all of these different distilleries. All the big names are here. But for today, a little sipping, a little tasting was just fine. And now we're gonna make our way up to one of the most iconic spots here in Porto. So even without a ski hill nearby, we gotta take a gondola. There we are.
Guide all in English, and it's €10 if you like it, guys.
10 euros.
Yeah.
Come on. You pay for it. Yeah, okay. We'll think about it.
Don't worry.
I need to sit on the investment. Now there was one last thing that we had to see in our final moments here in Porto, and that's none other than Porto's famous bridge. Yep, we saw it. All right, back to Lisbon. I feel at peace. I've got the lifestyle balance that I've always looked for when on the road. I've got the workouts going on, I've got amazing food and travel and adventure, I have an amazing place to work from, and yeah, feels like I'm progressing in all the ways that I want to. As a traveler that has been traveling the world for many years now, that's the thing I'm searching, is balance, it's progression. And as much as I love to be in a bumpy car in the middle of Bolivia, there comes a time where you need to be able to look at the bigger picture and figure out where is it taking you, where are you going? And right now I feel very strongly about investing in my personal well-being, being the healthiest I can be, having better relationships. And when you're on the road, it can be hard to keep up with those things. So it feels so good to be here in Lisbon, a beautiful city that has had its arms wide open. The one thing that I'm still working on is meeting those special people. I'm sure you can relate. How many times in life have you been in a beautiful place, a perfect sunset, a magnificent island, but felt like something was missing? That's the power of strong relationships. And that's not to say you can't have an amazing time alone. In fact, I'm enjoying these moments of solitude because currently Ruby's traveling with her family. It's giving me a little bit more time for reflection and yeah, time to myself. But there's no denying that we're social animals and I love to be able to share. I love to be able to share laughter, moments, but I'm really looking to dive deeper into that human need of mine to have community. Just hopefully that's around the corner for me. That morning, I went for a cup of joao. Is that what they say in Portugal? And good fortune smiled on me. And I'm not talking about Eros. This is a very serendipitous moment. I almost didn't come for this coffee this morning, but my whole outcome would have been different because I just met Jackie. Hey, what do you do?
I'm Jackie. I host dinner parties kind of all over the world. They're all word of mouth and just through friends to friends. But I cook for like 20 to 50 people at a time with all different backgrounds. We have some live music, some art, and
can I come?
Absolutely. The next one is Sunday. It's actually across the street, but I have this beautiful balcony that I'm going to have it on.
I'll be there, like 110%. That's amazing.
I've been living in places for about 6 months at a time, and from the first week I got to Lisbon, this is where I want to stay for a bit. I've been living in Hawaii the last 6 months, Bali before then, also Sydney, Dublin, and some other places along the way. But I think that just being here, you feel like you're traveling. You're surrounded by travelers and locals who all want to work together. There's a digital nomad meetup every Thursday here, and that's like a perfect way to just, once a week, there's like 100 people meeting.
Today?
Yeah, you want to come?
Yeah. We just got plans for tonight. I got exactly what I asked for. The opportunity to meet a bunch of people here in Lisbon. So Justin and I are gonna walk our way over to a bar about 15 minutes away, and apparently there should be a bunch of digital nomads there. And here we are. This is Paula. And Paula has been calling Lisbon home for the last 5 years, and you're originally from
Egypt.
And you've been here for 5 years. Like, is there a side of you that's like, there might be greener grass? Are you looking, or are you like, I'm settled here?
No, I'm very settled here. I love it here.
So one thing I love about Lisbon is the fact that you can have a beer outside. Cheers. These days I don't really drink, but you can't deny the fact that there's a great way to meet people, and that's to have one of these.
So I was considering taking this series to Barcelona, but you guys voted for Lisbon. And as it happens, I met someone who's tried both. And here's what this wise and very Irish man had to say.
Yeah, in my 20s, Barcelona 100%. You know, it's a party city, but it's busy. If I want my parties, I go to Barcelona.
Yeah.
If I want more calmness, if I want to relax and live peacefully, I come to Lisbon.
There you have it. Wise words.
Enjoy, man.
So right now we are exploring the streets of Bairro Alto late at night on a Friday, and all sorts of bars, clubs, different alleyways, €1 beers, people standing on the street trying to call you in. Yeah, this is a very action-packed city. You can pretty much go out most nights, but Friday has a little extra sauce to it. If you were to leave one tip for whoever's watching, what would that be?
Yes, hello. I'm from Brazil. Yes, I live here in Portugal. Yes, in Bairro Alto. It's very people. It's very all. There's crazy.
Amazing.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Appreciate that wisdom. Wow, that was.
This is basically the Khao San Road of Bangkok, but it's Lisbon.
Hi, Mom.
I drank €1 beers, and I had quickly seen enough of Bairro Alto. My younger self probably would have loved this place, but this isn't the scene for me anymore.
Free shots. Wow, they were €1, now they're free. This keeps getting better. By the end, I'm gonna get paid for a shot. You won't meet many locals, you will meet a lot of British spring breakers. Conclusion is, I don't know if this is the spot I would have gone. Backpacker me, probably yes.
All right, good night, Lisbon.
Good morning. It is the start of a new day and the start of a fit day. Every day I've been walking around Lisbon, hitting my calorie count on my watch here just because of the hills. Like literally, no matter how hard you try, you will burn a lot. But I gotta say, while this is definitely proving itself to have a lot for nomads, there's one thing it's severely lacking, and that's fitness options. There's been so few gyms, so few CrossFit centers, options of any kind in our area, and we're right downtown. But today, we did find one. We're gonna try this place out. It was recommended to us by Nina, actually. So let's go check it out. That was not your typical workout. That was literally like a spiritual workout. I went through all these different songs and different rhythms with different people, and I don't know, it's super cool because even though you're sweating and you feel the burn, you don't feel it quite as much because you're distracted by all the overwhelming energy. And today was actually the instructor's final class before she goes on maternity leave, so kind of a cool opportunity to be here for that. But yeah, if you want to get slotted in with the community, this is definitely one of them. I'm gonna come back for another class, 100%.
All right, let's talk about money and the cost of life in Portugal. One thing you should know about Lisbon is there is a housing shortage. If you talk to any locals, they'll actually tell you it's a full-blown housing crisis. There are not enough homes for the amount of people that want to be in this city. In fact, it's actually not just Lisbon, it's pretty much the whole country. The main thing that I want to share with you is that housing's not cheap. Portugal, a cheap destination? Not really. That's maybe a thing of the past. I think the housing prices have doubled, if not tripled, in the last 3 years. So this flat is costing us around $250 per night. It's 2 rooms, it's 1 single shared bathroom. It is some of the creakiest floors I've ever experienced. We have an entertainment room that we've turned into basically a study. There's a tram that you can hear going by, and on Friday nights, last night, I lost precious hours of sleep because of everyone screaming. In hindsight, I would not stay in this area. Bairro Alto is good for a tourist, not for what we're trying to do here. But that's neither here nor there. The golden days of Lisbon as a cheap destination have honestly set sail. The cost of living here is still cheaper than New York, London, Paris, But still, most of my meals were around 50 to 20 euros when I was eating out. Accommodations are expensive, groceries were actually pretty reasonably priced, but on the bright side, Portugal is a digital nomad tax haven. Wrong. Okay, get this. So for the longest time, digital nomads used to move to Portugal because it was a really advantageous place for taxes, at least if you were not Portuguese. The rules basically said that you would have up to 20% tax for the first 10 years. Well, they got rid of that, and now you are subject to the same taxes as the Portuguese people. The tax situation kind of sucks. If you stay for over 6 months a year, you could be paying up to 48% tax after earning $75,000. I'm not a tax expert, and neither is this video meant to be a tax guide, but what I will say is, if you're staying for less than 6 months of the year, this part probably won't need to worry you too much. Hey, what's up? Oh my god, he's so right. You should subscribe.
You feel alive, let's hit the dance floor. Don't work too hard, my break a backbone. Return of the Mac, the king is back though.
That night, I met up with Ricardo and he showed me LX Factory, which is a nearby flea market, and it's a pretty cool spot with all sorts of fresh foods, unique art, jewelry, clothing, basically everything you'd expect from a flea market.
I like girl blue eyes with a little bass. Here for the thrill, I don't need a chaser. Wanna vibe and get away.
One Aperol later, man, this place just got even more beautiful.
Look like a rave at the condo. Heck of a night in Toronto.
So there's a rooftop and it has a bar and everything around us is just glistening with light right now. You can't beat this. Sunset hour, LX Factory, that's where you gotta go. I love it. I think it's so much fun. Even a little live music. Would definitely recommend. Now I'm gonna go see my beautiful girlfriend. She has just checked in, so we'll make our way back. What do you think? Should I be the best boyfriend in the world? Yeah, 100%.
Guys, I can't believe I'm doing this, but if this video gets 50 likes, I'll buy my girlfriend flowers. Ruby says thanks for liking. I do too.
I think my video just got a little brighter. Hi, beautiful.
That's cute.
Yeah.
He's always so cute.
So, we reunited, and now I really feel like a local. Because that's honestly, when I'm traveling and I'm not with her, it does feel like something's missing. And yeah. So good to be back together.
I'm so happy to be here. Portugal's honestly been a very big dream of mine. So to be here with the love of my life, it's even better.
If you guys remember, I was invited to dinner with a stranger, and we're now headed there. So let's go. One of the cheapest parts of being in Portugal is the wine. As a Canadian, these are like $20 each. Here they're like 8 euros, they're 9 euros. Don't know what they are, but we're gonna go with that. When a stranger invites you over to their home, you say yes.
Oh my god,
because
then they'll set the place on fire.
What are you making?
This is a unagi nigiri, but it's like a plant-based version.
Okay.
Try it.
Check this out. So Jackie literally took one of her bed frames, flipped it up on the wall, and turned this into a dining room. So cool. Thank you for the invite. This is so beautiful.
This moment felt like an epic cherry on top to a beautiful 2 weeks in Portugal.
Thank you.
So she's written down the whole menu today on the back of a postcard. How stressed were you today, Jackie?
A little bit.
So there I was, showing up in a city where I knew nobody and finding myself in a room full of strangers, now becoming friends. But that's the beauty of being a nomad. You don't know what's in store in your next city. You don't even know what tomorrow has in store. But when you're truly living the nomad life, your openness brings in so many unique people and experiences into your life, and every day is different than the last. I'm so grateful for the people and the moments that Lisbon has opened me up to.
It's the best feeling in the world when you get to become a local guide. Baby, I'm about to surprise you.
What?
But to blow your socks off.
What?
Well, you're not wearing any, but...
What? Oh my god! Yay! Let's go get some dessert. I just had 7 desserts today, but it's okay. So this is called what?
Pastéis de nata.
Wow. This is like a 100 out of 100 pastry right here.
2 weeks in Lisbon later, and I'm kind of a local. Well, I hope Portuguese people aren't watching this. But now it's time to give it a score. Let's talk about Portugal's food. If you're a meat and potatoes kind of guy, you're gonna like it. If you like seafood, you're gonna like it. It won't be anything you haven't tried before, but with all the international culinary, you've got everything from casual to fine dining, from Asian to Peruvian. Out of 10, I give her an 8. The next up, we got the F word. A little bit of fun. This is something that Portugal does very well. The local people are kind, the expats are laid back and social, the weather is full of blue skies, you've got so many outdoor activity options, from going down to the Algarves to a 35-minute trip to the beach just outside of Lisbon. And the overall energy, that European summer feeling, is one of the best. And that's why I give it a 9 out of 10. The work life. Portugal is not a place of efficiency, of speed. This is a place you come to slow down a little bit. Some people like that, some people won't for their work life. The gym and health scene is way less established than I would have expected when I compare it to places like Bali, Dubai. As you saw, there's some good co-work spaces in the central areas. I can't speak for all of Portugal, but with pretty good Wi-Fi across the country, you should be in pretty good shape as a digital nomad. But where Portugal is losing some points here is for those that really want to move here, that want to live here. The tax situation is no longer in your favor. With a 48% tax, it's a tough one to say this is where you're going to want to build your business. But for shorter term stays, you do have visa options. So yeah, work life is not really what Portugal does best. I give it a 6. 10. Not much more to say. Value. Once upon a time, it would have been a 10. It would have been one of the best, most high value places you could have traveled. When I went 5 years ago, I remember leaving feeling that way. But after this recent trip, paying so much money for an Airbnb, being shocked by how much dining was costing me, this is a city that has become very expensive because of people like you and I, and inflation. The reason I'm not totally destroying Portugal on value is because there are places to find the value. If you go to the local restaurants, you can go under 10 euros. If you stay in the outskirts, you can find more affordable accommodations. And if you cook your own food at home, the groceries were actually very affordable compared to Canada or the US. So if you're a value hunter, you could be okay here. But for most expats that want to live in the hub, in the center of the city, be prepared. It ain't cheap, and that's why I give it a 7 out of 10 on value. And with that, your overall quality of life is a 40 out of 50. 80%, not bad. Will I be living here anytime soon? Most likely not. I love my life here in Bali, and if you want to see a deep dive like this one here in Canggu, across the entire island, and across the whole world, from Bangkok to Barcelona, Medellin to LA, let me know what destination you want to see next. Let's get lost again in the next one.